Hi, Dennis Green here with Church Development and Stewardship System. Today's blog entry is about how to ask for donations. Like farming, the most important work happens before the harvest. So before we ask anybody for a donation, we're going to do three things. Number one, we're going to involve them in decision making. And the best part of that is involving them in forming the vision. Number two, we're going to connect people socially so that they have relationships with other people that share their values. And number three, we're going to ask them to be an episodic volunteer, just a brief one and done, so they have a connection, a commitment to that. When we sit down to ask, it's important to, number one, establish rapport. Take as much time as you need to match their posture, match their predicates. Are they visual, auditory, or kinesthetic? Talk about family, friends, sports, the weather, it doesn't matter. Take as much time as you need. Then you find a segue into presenting the case. Ask them a question. Do you see it? Did you get it? Do you have any questions? Matter of fact, go further down that road. Before you ask them, you say the words literally, and I quote, please say these words. Before I ask you for a donation, which might be the biggest charitable donation of your entire life, what questions and concerns do you have? Now, what I've just done there is set up the ask. They know the ask is coming. They know it's going to be a large ask. So immediately their mind will go to work trying to figure out all the objections that they have. That's like pressing a run button on the software. So and they will come forth with a lot of questions and concerns. Now, after you've been back and forth, then you need to present the ask. And here's the best way to ask. It represents, remember the predicates I mentioned earlier? You've got to ask them to sponsor something that they can see, hear, and feel. So the best ask might be, would you consider sponsoring the new wing of the church education building where we'll hold our Sunday school classes for the next 100 years? So immediately they can imagine a building, a wing, Sunday school classes for long into the future. And then I'm going to say the price, and it will cost $100,000. So would you consider sponsoring the new education wing where we'll hold our Sunday school classes for the future for $100,000? That gives the person a sense of where's my money go and the human impact and the cost. Then it's real important for you to be quiet and allow them to process that thought. Usually they'll have another question or two. And if you're asking for a church project, it's very important that you give them the opportunity to pray about it. So you might say, please take this into your time of prayer and discernment. Why don't I check back with you next week to see if you have any other questions? Here's our prayer guide that our prayer committee has put together. It's got some good questions and some good scripture to reflect upon. So for you, as you go forth and ask people for donations, I say, go forth and God bless.